trust you slept well?
Is it morning?
Yes. And Lord Palmerston is expecting your report.
Oh.
Is that it?
Yes.
All done?
It is finished. Let it go.
I trust you found Miss Nightingale's report of use, Your Lordship.
Extraordinary. Most valuable.
So you will present it to the Commission?
Florence, one must consider the public mood.
Exactly. The nation wants to move on. And let us not forget, our Queen, nay, the whole of Her Majesty's government, are dedicated to reform. But for reform, we must look to the future.
And not fight old battles, Florence.
Well put, Sidney.
If I were to publish my own report?
Ah, but there is that confidentiality clause. Besides, the public would not stand for the loss of one of their greatest heroines. It would set back the cause for those very reforms you and our gracious Queen so earnestly desire. You do look tired, Florence. So much work. It drains the system. After 2 years fretting about the health of our army, isn't it time you took care of your own?
What we need is a miracle down here right now. Then God sent his angel to succor the brave. 10,000 she saved from an untimely grave. The wounded, they love her, as it can be seen. She's the soldiers' preserver, they call her their queen.
Hello, Queenie.
What we got was a miracle, a blooming human miracle. We got that lady when all else did fail, who made us...
What's going on? Not to worry, ladies and gentlemen. Now, she will be fine. Look, there's attendants round her now. No, stay where you are. She will be all right. She's faced worse things than this now. She'll be all right. Now, please, keep your seats. Keep your seats. Stay there. Look, she's coming round already. Look.
Rule Britannia. Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves.
That is heartening news, Prime Minister.
Yes, Ma'am. Thank you.
And when does this commission of ours expect to start hearing evidence?
Next week, I believe.
And will Miss Nightingale appear before it?
Ah, no. It was decided to submit her evidence in writing through me.
I see. And how is the dear girl?
Somewhat indisposed, Ma'am, after her Herculean efforts. I believe she's taking the waters in Malvern Spa.
And tell her we wish her a speedy recovery.
I'll convey that sentiment to her father when I see him next.
Excuse me. Mr. Nightingale. Excuse me. Excuse me, please. Excuse me.
Not to be disturbed.
Where's my daughter?
Especially by her family.
I have to see my daughter. I've been told she hasn't eaten for a week.
Well, we can't exactly force her to eat.
You didn't even call a doctor.
I'm sure she's fine, sir. Mr. Nightingale.
Florence.
Florence.
Flo? I'm aware that we need to talk. We haven't always done that, have we? I'm also aware that there have been times in my life when I've been too distant. Too much in my books, my thoughts. But you know I always loved you. Don't you?
Yes, Papa. Yes, I do.
And yet, in a way, I feel I was always a little afraid of you.
You? Of me?
Well, you are so independent, so headstrong.
Well, I had to be, didn't I?
Yes. Of course, you know, I had ambitions too. Politics. William Edward Nightingale, MP. I thought that had a nice ring to it. Better than good old Wen, decent chap, but not much good at getting the vote out. Well, I wasn't to be. I've been left behind in the race. A lot of races. Whereas you, on the other hand...
Papa, I'm sure if there's a House of Commons in the next life, you'll be a member.
Perhaps that my real calling in life was to be your teacher when you were little.
Except, you see, one can be wrong about one's calling.
Oh, Flo. Be patient with yourself. Haven't I always said that the world needs pioneers?
Yes, many times.
And you are just such a pioneer.
But if you're a pioneer and you lead others into a swamp, into death, how can you not blame yourself?
What if it's all part of a plan?
What is?
The mistakes.
So when God called me, He called me to make mistakes. But you don't believe in my call, do you?
I believe in you, my little genius.
No. You think the call was just my own voice, don't you? Nothing more.
Well, I think once I did, but now I'm...
What?
Oh, does it matter?
It matters to me.
What I think?
Yes, Father.
Then I think that you are human, and that God is God. And He teaches us all through our mistakes, and all we common mortals can do is work through trial and error.
For my errors, I'm now on trial.
And what about Jesus?
What do you mean?
I heard you in the church when you were praying, when you thought you were alone. My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
I meant... I once felt so close to God. And now...
I know. And I meant that you are not the first to feel that despair. Yet, when you look back on it, that suffering led to great good.
But I'm not Christ.
Precisely. Flo, let God be the judge. He's in charge, not you. Well, my dear, what now?
Do you know, if I had my health, I think I should like to see what's going on in our English hospitals.